Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this is Mail Monday, a weekly series where you ask questions and I give answers. I'm fresh out of Call of Duty footage, so this is what we're going with. Alright, I'm going to start off by reading two letters back to back. Here's the first one. Hey Woody, I don't expect you to read this, but here goes. I, like you, have suffered from depression, and I'm wondering what the best way you found to beat it is. I love your content, and keep it up. Having cancer that's similar to that of your brother's. If you guys didn't know, my brother had cancer twice. I've been a subscriber to your channel for a long time, and I've always loved Mail Monday especially. Like many others you've described in the previous Mail Monday, I'm at 19, I'm able to go to university, I'm from the UK, and I've therefore grown up relating to similar problems in your Mail Monday videos. Relationships, not being totally happy, but now I'm grown up and I've realized life does get better. Sort of. I just finished watching a video you posted about 3 years ago titled Cancer Sucks, and I noticed how you said your brother had osteosarcoma in his left thigh. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I'm 19, and I've just finished treatment to a similar cancer called Ewing sarcoma, which I've also had in my left thigh. I had surgery to remove my thigh bone, knee joint, and the ball of my hip, and it's all joined together with a metal prosthesis. If you don't understand that, the surgery is almost like an amputation, but they replace the bone in the middle, so it looks normal, but if you were to x-ray them, it would look differently. I've had 12 cycles of intensive chemotherapy and 6 weeks of radiotherapy. Some spread to my lung as it spread a little bit, but that seemed to have cleared up in my first cycle of chemo. If you know nothing about chemo, this is hardcore. 12 cycles is a lot. And then he adds to that 6 weeks of radio. This guy is going through heavy duty stuff. Anyway, it seems like a blessing that you started doing Mail Monday again now. Rather than ask for advice, I'd like to give some, as well as now understanding the pain people such as yourself go through at hard times like these. I've understood all these relationship and sex problems on Mail Monday in previous years, and I've listened intently to all the suicide letters in your videos. I've never considered it. It seems like going through something like cancer for me has made me respect the hell out of life a lot more, and that you shouldn't wish to end it, especially if you're good and healthy. Agreeing with your father, most things in life can be sorted out with money, aside from health and relationship. So what I'm trying to say is, I understand the problems that adolescents go through, but if you look on the wider spectrum, you're not in that bad shape if your main problem is the girl you like doesn't like you back. I can't tell you how happy I am that I'm still here typing this message, and that's as bad as cancer is. I'm certainly going to live my life to the fullest now. And I just want to tell you and the other viewers out there that do the same, because there's always someone out there worse than yourself. Somehow, I kept telling myself that over the past year, and got through that. So have a good day. Depression's a funny thing, right? And my experience is that telling someone that someone else out there has it worse doesn't really fix it. Like that's I love this guy's intentions. I love him saying like, hey, you know, I know you're having a hard time, but it could be a lot worse. And you know, he's a good guy for going that route. When I had depression, I had this feeling of hopelessness. Like my future had no future. I felt like things weren't going to get better. And that's why the, you know, things get better thing kind of hits home with me. And I could talk about that forever. The guy in the first letter was saying, you know, he has depression and how do I get out of this? The things that helped me get out of it, that I think help most people get out of it, seem so unreachable when you're in the depths of depression that sometimes maybe you just take it in baby steps and see where it goes from there. For example, what helped me a lot, and this, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's not going to help you, was summertime. I just felt like, you know, when I charged my solar batteries and, you know, got outside and saw the springtime arrive and the life and the, you know, that for me helped me find some happiness. That's a thing. So, so if that works for you, awesome. If that doesn't work for you, then, you know, find some other way. To me, real happiness, you know, of course it's not in money and it's not in like things that you've done or like, I don't know, nothing that you can brag about. Actual happiness for me is found in relationships with other people. Like that's the thing. If you're depressed, I'm guessing you're also alone. And if you're like I was as a teenager, you're almost alone by choice. Like, there are people out there that would have hung out with me. There are people out there that kind of wondered where I went. You know, how come I wasn't making any effort to hang out with them anymore? Why was I just, being a couch potato? And from my perspective, I'd sleep on the couch all day and wake up at 11 and then stay up till 4, and like my sleep schedule was a mess, and that was a part of the problem. And there were a lot of problems, most of them kind of self-induced. I wasn't doing my homework, so I felt like I had no future. Well, do it. But the thing about being depressed, like, you have to understand this hole that you're in. The hole involves like not having the motivation to fix your problems. I'm not sure everyone gets that in the same way. Depression isn't a bad day. It's not even a rough string of events. It's not, because you're sick or because you're in pain. It's because you think that there's no escape from unhappiness. And I don't know. I don't know where I'm headed on this. How do you fix it? Find your escape from unhappiness and execute on it. It's kind of hard to do when you're in the midst of it. It's like the thing that gets you fixed is the thing that you're least capable of doing. Having said that, you can power through it to some extent and do it. If it's being outside that makes you feel good, then do that. If it's hanging out with a friend that makes you feel good, then make yourself feel good. And do that thing, whatever it is that brings you joy, get that done. If you're like I said earlier, if you're like most people, it's relationships with other people, and go make that happen. Go ask a girl out, go hang out with a friend. They'll both do just fine. Go talk to somebody. See a therapist. I have no problem with taking prescribed drugs if that's your thing. Do what it takes and get yourself out of the hole. That's where it is. So I definitely like the idea of therapy if that avenue's open to you. If you think it's a simpler case, talk to friends. Those are the things that help you bust out. What doesn't help you bust out is staying in your hole, in your path, in your rut. So you got to break that rut. And that's step one. Just do it. Do it. Break your rut. Make it happen. Hey Woody, I just recently started my first year of university and I'm having a really rough time. Not because of the classes I take, I love those, but the commute to and from school, which is an hour and a half both ways. By the way, I interpret that to mean 45-minute each way, and not 3 hours total, but an hour and a half total. But back on topic. I'm finding it really tough meeting new people and spending time with my significant other since I'm on a completely different schedule as most of the other freshmen at my university live in dorms. I've tried to make friends with other commuters, but they tend to be really quiet and reserved. This is all making me feel very lonely, especially since I can't live the social college life. On top of this, I have both early morning classes and late afternoon class, leaving me with a 6-hour gap where I just sit in the library. I chose to commute to save money, but it's not money I necessarily needed to save. My college plus potential dorm cost is really low for me and my parents. So here's the question. Do I make the financially beneficial decision of commuting, or do I sacrifice some money and dorm? So you're a freshman, and I don't know if that's a global thing for college, but it means it's his first year and he has 4 years left. Anyway, he's already unhappy. I'm guessing you started in August, and it's not even October yet, and you're already sitting here wondering how you're going to make it. You're already telling me that you're having a hard time finding happiness. And this problem you have where you sit 6 hours between classes, it's going to get tougher and it's going to get worse. I'll explain why. What happens when you're a freshman, there are a lot of courses that you can take. And a lot of the courses that you need to take are offered multiple times throughout the day. Like, some sort of like catch-up algebra class is offered a ton of times. As you get to be a junior and a senior, you'll see that, like, I need this one class to fulfill this requirement. I have to go to school at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Your schedule is as flexible now as it's ever going to be. So this 6-hour gap thing you have, I'm trying to tell you, isn't going to go away. That you're going to find that it's harder to set your schedule as, imagine you needed 40 classes to graduate. When you only have 9 left, you're going to find that those 9, you're going to take them on their schedule and not your own. That's the deal. So I think you should go to the dorms if that's the case. You did the good thing, and you tried to save some money, and I respect where you're coming from there. But I think you're doing it at the cost of happiness, and that can be pretty paramount. It's not that never in life, it's not an easy call, right? You know, I'll share something. I have a brother-in-law. He was going to commute to college in either case. He was married with kids and stuff when he was going to school at night. And one school I think had like a 15-minute commute, and one had like a 40-minute commute. And he spent an extra 18 grand a year to have a shorter commute, to make it 18 instead of 20 minutes or 40. So he saved 20 minutes a day and cost him 20 grand a year. And I think he made the wrong call. You know, those are debts that he'll be paying off for decades. And but it doesn't sound like the finances that you're in are in quite as rough a spot. It sounds like you can do this if you need to, and I think you should. I don't think you should suffer until you're 22, 23 years old just to have, you know, a little bit lower expenses if you can swing it. The difference in education is nothing. You're going to learn the same thing. You're going to come out just as prepared. But your growing up experience will be benefited by living on campus, by getting out of your parents' house. There's a lot to education aside from just what you learn in the classes. And, you know, I'll say this. My daughter, she's just a sophomore in high school right now, and she aspires to go to a school that's about 40 minutes from our class. And we're planning to put her in the dorms, even though it costs a little extra money, because we think it's a good experience for her, and that she'll learn from it, and it'll be part of the college experience that will make her a richer person, richer emotionally. So yeah, we're kind of putting our money where our mouth there. You know, if you were my kid, I'd send you to school, and it sounds like, you know, you as your own man want to do it. So make it so. Make it so. It might just be a dream for you. That's. I try not to share too much personal about my daughter, but so we've always sent her to like year-round schools and charter schools and things like that. And what it means is that the other kids that live on our block don't necessarily like go to the exact same, like they don't go to the same school as her, and she's never had those friends that she can walk to. I look forward to the day when she lives in dorms and has friends that are literally like down the hall from her, when she has a roommate that is her friend. You know, that's going to be an experience that she's going to love, even though she'll be a young adult when she gets it. Like, you never get too old to stop appreciating friends. And, you know, that's my advice to you. Spend some money, build some relationships in college. I think that you'll never regret it. So that's my take on this.